You just like kicking them.
I like...
What do you think the deal is with the
them.
guys in the black suits? What do you...
Gee, lad, I don't know.
They look like a...
What's the problem with
like
these
an
guys with the mics? They all look like weebs. Just
I don't know.
look at that one over there.
Disgusting.
That one's a little tan. I don't think I like
Yeah,
that.
He's really...
He's also really short. I feel like I could just put my elbow on top of this one.
I could just like step on him and prance on his corpse.
And look at these two pine cone trees over there, taller than the ceiling. Why don't they just have a seat?
One of them kind of looks like a bush, like not too tall, but it's like pretty. It's like a hedge.
And the other one, oh, don't get me started with the other one.
Don't get me started. You're gonna get me started, aren't you?
Oh no!
Don't get me. Don't even get me started.
His head looks like a goddamn Ellis Island statue.
God, who the fuck did that?
It's like an Alolan Egoraptor or whatever we called it.
I think we said Alolan Egoraptor.
Good.
I definitely screamed that at the top of my lungs.
Please don't
that
tell
one
me
time.
they're coming in the same train as us.
Oh no! Look at them. They got tickets and everything. Oh my
Oh
god.
no, my
Oh,
God!
I just saw him walk on.
God,
nah.
God save
Wow.
our goddamn soul.
At least it's not like we're gonna be killed on this train. All right, let's go, boys.
Okay, let's go.
Let me tell you the horrible story of the Funky Anime Podcast.
Okay, Dad.
Now, legend says
Yeah.
that the Funky Anime Podcast was made up of 3 different weebs.
Oh wow,
A whole 3.
Yeah.
that's so many.
They said they reached about episode 20 when they finally cracked under the pressure.
That was JoJo, wasn't it?
Don't ask me these questions. I didn't watch it. But anyways, as I was saying,
It was shitty. I
funky-
didn't listen.
where was?
Are you okay, Dad?
Sorry, I had some gas. Your mother made cannolis this morning.
Dad.
Anyways, as I was saying,
Yeah. Yeah. Keep going, Dad. Don't worry. My brother's just stupid. Keep going.
all right. If you interrupt me one more time, it's sleeping with the fishes. All right. All right.
Ooh, I love fish.
I do too. Anyways, one of these episodes, they decided to review one about the mafia.
Oh wow, I hate those guys.
You do know you're the son of a mafioso, right?
Oh, I love those guys.
And they recorded it on the day of my daughter's wedding.
They say that if you actually go into the bathroom and you spell out Funky Anime Podcast on the mirror, they'll show up.
Why?
Don't
That doesn't seem.
don't
that doesn't seem
don't
very
question
smart.
it, son. Don't question it. Let's go try it out right now.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. That's
All
us
right,
walking.
Okay,
We wrote it on the
Okay, so
window.
how do you spell it? You said mirror first off.
No, I said Miria.
Okay, I guess.
There's no Miria here.
So where do we write it?
Well,
then?
the mirror will be the next best thing.
Okay, so let's do the mirror. Funky anime. Does it have to be in cursive or can it just be normal?
It can be normal.
Add a tilde for no reason.
Okay, I got you.
Add it over the P though.
Anime. Oh, of course. Come on. Who do you think I am?
You. Yeah.
Okay, Dad. Podcast. Okay, I did it.
All right. Now the magic words are
Yeah. What's the magic words?
Hi guys, welcome to the... I don't think that was good at all.
That was did you not hear me
best.
fucking laughing my ass off the whole time?
That was the best thing we've ever done on this podcast.
No, of course not. Was that the
Guys,
opening?
it's only up from here.
Guys, it's feeling really up dog right now.
What's that?
I got him.
Ligma up dog?
You know, what's the thing you just said?
What?
You know, the thing you said.
Yeah?
The thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can someone tell me
We
what
can't be
that
laughing at this fucking dead meme, dude.
It was never dead to begin with. It's always living in our hearts and in our souls.
I see.
No.
Just like our eternal lives.
I got a question. We haven't started, right?
Because we drink. No,
Yeah,
we've started.
Oh,
No, we
no.
have.
Oh, no.
We've
Let me try
definitely
again.
started.
Dude, this is a train wreck. The flying pussyfooter's going down.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Funky Anime Podcast.
See, I brought it
Welcome.
back.
The
You're
one
welcome.
sitting in first class. Well, that's Garb.
Yeah, I'm fucking living the high life. Fuck y'all.
The one in the cargo hold for some reason, checking his bomb stash. Well, that's Chuck.
Holy fuck, there's so many bombs in here. Look at all these fucking bombs.
Dude, he's having a blast.
Hell, shut up. Oh, these are so cool.
And the one covered in blood who calls himself the Rail Tracer. Well, that's me. That's Pino. Hi. I'm the Rail Tracer.
Oh no.
Oh,
But it's all right.
boy.
I'm just going to ask you if you have your ticket.
Oh,
Ticket,
of course.
please.
Yeah, sure, here you go.
What's
Hold
that
on.
man doing in the cargo hold, though?
What man in the
don't
cargo
pay attention.
hold?
I'm getting my tickets. I put it in my bag. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay, first class. This expired last year.
What are you talking about? No.
It says so right here.
No.
Nah, I'm just messing with you. Have a great day, sir.
Okay.
Now, as for you.
Yeah.
All right, where's your ticket?
Oh wait, let me get into the scene and not out in the cargo still.
Okay, come on.
Hey.
He's like thinking the logistics of this. Holy fuck.
Yeah,
All right.
here's this sheet of money paper that I have. Would you like it?
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to get off my train.
Not if I have. Not if.
Sir, I've already detached this other part of the train. You're still on that part. Yeah, goodbye.
Okay, Mom.
So, Garb, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm
we lost Chuck
I'm
there for a
sitting in
second.
first class. I'm doing all right.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, guys, I just ran back.
Wow, you run really
real-
fast.
Welcome, guys. That was 2 opening bits in one. I hope you enjoyed that.
Guys, you're welcome.
If you want to find us, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on iTunes.
yeah.
But where can they find
What's-
us if they want to send us anything?
Yeah, so we're just gonna start this off with plugs, I guess.
Of course. Nobody listens
so-
to the end of the episode.
You're right though. So if you want to find us on Twitter, we are 3 Weebros, or if you look up Funky Anime Podcast, we'll probably be the first one because we're the only ones.
We're the only funky ones, of course.
Oh, got him. And then you can obviously find us on anywhere that you listen to podcasts: iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Castbox, Spotify. And if you could leave us a review on any of those sites, that would be fantastic. Really
Spotify
helps getting the
listens
words
have been-
out.
Have been going up there, and I'm
Yeah,
very
thanks.
happy. So
Thanks.
shout outs.
Thanks all one person listening to our
Thank
things
you.
Over and
several
over
times.
again.
That's just me putting it on
Yeah.
autoplay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And then you can email us at funkyanimetopodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that is funkyanimetopodcast@gmail.com. If you write us anything, we'll read it on the podcast, maybe.
Mostly, likely.
Probably, because we don't get anything.
Yeah, except for Andy. All right. If you couldn't tell by the title or our horrible accents, this week.
What do you mean horrible accent?
What do you mean?
This is how I talk.
This is
This
just
is how we
me.
talk. It's the 1930s.
I just have a
I
cold.
mean,
That's all.
I'm pretty
Hey, I'm
sure
really
it was the
racist.
30s.
Got him.
Rusty.
Yeah.
Hey, Holmes. Anyways, this week I decided to make the guys take a little trip back in time. The year.
Don't fall over, though.
Don't fall over. The year not in blah blah blah. My tongue is already twisted at the beginning of the episode.
Don't tie it then.
All right, I'll untie it. This week.
Thank you.
This week.
This is gonna be a good episode.
This week we watched Baccano. Now, if you don't know, Baccano is an anime. Oh,
Wow, how about that?
Who would have thought the anime podcast watching an anime?
I don't know,
Unheard
man.
of.
Doesn't seem
Unprecedented. Anyways, yes, this anime is called Baccano. Its original run was from February 10th. At least the light novel started in February 10th, 2003, and it's actually an ongoing series as of this moment, which is very interesting
Yeah.
to me because I actually was not aware of that.
Did they do it like in the present time, or like how at the end of the series they did it like they showed a little bit where it was like 2001? Did they show like after that?
We'll talk a little more about it, but it has to do more with the specials that happened that I made you guys watch. This week we watched about, I believe it was 12-ish? 16 episodes.
16 total episodes.
3 of which
16.
were the special episodes that I asked them to watch because I felt like that kind of, encompassed the entire thing as a whole, and it had a good ending, in my opinion. But more on Baccano. Baccano is actually Italian for ruckus. The Italian. So, if those of you who have seen this,
Come aside.
oh boy, this is a very, very,
Italiano.
Thank you.
this is a very,
That's an
I
old
guess,
joke.
rambunctious show, I guess. As I mentioned, it started out as a light novel, and it was written by, time to butcher his name, Ryogo Narita.
Can you try it again?
Ryogo
Narita.
One more time.
Ryogo Narita.
Thank you.
Okay.
Feliz
With
Navidad.
illustrations by Katsumi Inami.
Guys, this is a bad anime.
No, I
Just
can't
kidding. It's a
believe it.
great anime.
This
Yeah,
light
that
novel
was
was
really
then adapted into a manga series, again written by our boy Ryogo Narita. If that
One more
name,
time.
Ryogo Narita.
Thank you.
I don't know if you've already recognized the name of Ryogo Narita, but he is a writer who has also produced the series that we've watched earlier this season, Durarara! Exclamation point!
Oh, that makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
You didn't know that?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I think I explained in the
stinky
episode
dummy.
of Durarara that they like pairing
Yeah.
this and another series into what they call the Narita-verse, which is
Oh, so these are the okay. I remember from that episode. Okay.
right, yeah. So again, it was made into a manga around 2006, I believe, around December-ish, and it had 2 volumes. Then the anime series came out, directed by Takahiro Omori. Mori.
I can't speak Japanese.
Oh no, you got me. And let me see if I'm correct, but it says that the studio was called Brains Base.
Yes, you are correct there.
Yes,
They did stuff like, they did Durarara, obviously, Baccano. That's really their biggest ones that they've done. I've been scrolling through it a little bit.
they have
There's
Spice and Wolf
nothing-
number 2 for those of you who likes the wolves.
Awoo.
Woo! My teen romantic comedy Snafu, which I know people have watched.
Oh, yeah.
Defrag,
I've
I
heard.
think, is one of the popular one. I think. They've also done
There
Dances
seems
with
like
Devils.
a couple of mech shows.
Yeah, there's a lot, there's a wide variety of things, but they all sort of I don't think like many people have those shows like high up on their lists, maybe.
No.
But it's shows that people may or may not have seen.
I mean, Baccano and Durarara are both good.
Yeah, they're both really highly rated on
Now.
my anime list.
Oh,
And the funny thing is, Baccano is actually rated higher than Durarara.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I also agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
However, not only did it have a first manga series, they also had a second manga series published by Square Enix, which
Yeah, I saw
started in
that.
2015.
Square
It
Enix
just
has
ended,
published
right?
a couple that
Yes.
we've seen.
Stop yelling at me.
Square Enix is I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing a lot of good. They're doing a lot of good.
Except for Kingdom Hearts. I got dab.
When you walk
what
up.
No.
So, hey guys, how about that Final Fantasy VII remake?
It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. No one's gonna make it. It's not gonna happen.
Anyways,
Okay, continue.
if I am correct by checking my sources, which are the ever so reliable wiki. Remember, kids, use that for your essays and you fail. Anyways, let's see. I believe that the first 13 or so episodes were actually only 2 of the arcs, or at least 2 of the... It was... hold on, let me reread what I just read here.
This is a good part of the podcast right now.
I literally yawned.
It was, I believe, if I remember correctly, and I'm going to be wrong, but it was one of the... It was like... It was one of the first... I think it was the 4 volumes of the light novel that was made into the series. So you had the intro and everything that happened on the Flying Pussyfoot, which is the name of the train, which we'll talk about later.
Epic name.
Epic name. Great. I think it was a great... It was appropriate. You know, see? Because
fucking stupid.
In the 30s, we called everything things that we make fun of today. I mean, it's true. But before we get into it, let me just let me ask my compatriots, my cohorts, what were their initial thoughts when I said, "Hey, we're gonna watch this show" with 1 exclamation point at the end.
Yeah, I was disappointed by the lack of exclamation marks. Not gonna lie, that lowered my expectation at first, but as I watched the show, I grew to love it.
Pretty good.
Did you like my joke? Please tell me you like my joke. Okay.
Please laugh.
No.
Please clap.
Just please eat.
Please eat.
I had never heard of it, but like during the first episode where it was like all like gray and dark, I was like, oh, it's another one of these Pino episode shows where everything's like kind of gray and it's like a little edgy.
I'm gonna be edgy.
Like Durarara and what was that other one? Black Lagoon.
Oh, right.
Like those are like Pino shows to me now. I did hand quotation marks, but obviously you cannot see that.
I saw that. I felt it.
But yeah, and then eventually I was like, this is better than those.
Well, it's better than one of them.
Definitely better than one of them for sure.
Sorry, Benny boy.
Durarara just took too long for me to like get into, and this one like because of the weirdness in it, I was like,
the time.
Like, by the end of the first episode, I was like, all right, I can get into this.
What about
and
you,
then
Chuck?
I was into this.
What about you, Chuck? What were your first thoughts?
I was like, no. So I've listened to the theme song of this for like 3-4 years now. Like it's been on like my playlist.
That's usually how you find anime.
That's how I get my anime. Just because if the opening's good, the anime should be good. Maybe.
Looking at you.
Yeah, and
for once it was right.
okay, shut up.
Hey, you can't spoil it for the viewers.
Like, I'm taking offense to this right now.
I mean, the opposite happens too. Panty and Stocking is a fucking terrible opening, but that's a great show.
I like the Panty and Stockings opening.
I mean, Chase is also a bad opening, but you're
right.
JoJo is still a great series.
Yeah, you're right.
Y'all just had to put Chase in there.
Yeah, no, but I like the first episode. It was a bit weird because, like, it's a time thing, and they're throwing all these characters at you at one point, and you're like, "That's a lot of people."
That's a lot of people.
But yeah, it's just there's just a whole bunch, and you're just like, "Dang."
Am I gonna remember everything?
They give you like time to digest it later. Like then they introduce them a little bit. They like throw it all at you, and then they're like, "Okay, let's ease into it now." Which I think I kind of like.
Yeah.
Because whenever they take too long at first, like I need a good first scene.
Guys,
Kill la Kill.
sometimes. What's the first scene of Kill la Kill? I
don't remember.
Where they're in the school, Mako's asleep, and then Gamagori fucking bursts through the door.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's a good one. Yes, that's a bad anime.
So as for my experience, it was actually during the week that we were watching Durarara that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go give Baccano a try, because like I was on an anime kind of binge there. So
you hadn't seen it?
I had not seen it at that time, which was pretty recently. I think it's only been a couple
This
months.
is new to you too. Okay.
This was new to me, yeah. And so I watched it. I binged it within 2 days, and I was like,
wow,
understandable.
Wow, what the heck did I just watch?
What the heck?
And I was just,
I gotta get this on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And I added it to the list. I'm like, we need to see it now because I want to talk about it so bad. And upon my second rewatch, which is this one, I must say there are things that I didn't catch. Again, like in my other episodes, there are things that I didn't catch that I saw this time, and I was like, oh my gosh, this show. Look at the details, the subtlety. But yeah, no. It was on a whim that I watched it, and I fell in love. Personally, this is like one of the best things I've ever seen.
I figured this was going to be another one of those shows where, like, with Golden Time, with Durarara, was like ones that you had seen before, and then we're talking.
I mean, technically, I did see it before, but like not too far into the past. Like,
okay,
yeah, like when, like what this Durarara came out, like what in
a while
March
ago at this
or something.
point.
In February?
I thought it was like 2007.
No, it was
No, I mean like
about
the podcast episode.
You dingus.
Oh, I thought you meant the show.
No. When did we release whenever we released the Durarara one, while we were watching Durarara, I watched it and I was like, let's go. Let's go. Okay. So again, I just wanted to get this wonderful, wonderful series out into the wild. But anything else we want to say? Any of our first impressions? Nothing?
I was like, this is a cool atmosphere, because this is something that you don't get a lot of. Anymore,
yeah.
Which is something that I really appreciate, because I'm definitely gonna talk about it more in the presentation aspect, but the 1930s in the United States of America.
Yeah. Not in a lot of Japanese anime.
No. Surprisingly, there's not a lot of gangster mob flicks.
You're right.
Like, we've got a bunch of, like, fantasy shows. We've got, like, modern Tokyo.
And
like,
we even talk about the Yakuzas, but we don't ever go to
Yeah.
the actual gangsters, like the Italian mob and whatnot.
The Italians.
Yeah, the Italians. If you're Italian, I'm sorry for my accent.
Anyways,
I'm Italian. Fuck off.
don't tell them that. They'll find you. They'll kill you.
They'll throw spaghetti at your house.
You didn't make that, Luigi. It's a rock.
But Mario!
But Mario...
I want to throw the spaghetti at him.
No, Luigi. You can't.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mario.
All right.
This is a bad bit. Let's go on.
Let's go. Let's talk about... Let's start easy. Let's talk about everyone's favorite subject. Let's talk about the openings and endings. Let's go with that. So the first opening of this series is actually titled Guns and Roses. It's called Guns and Roses. And
I love Slash.
It was made by Paradise Lunch. And oh boy, is this opening one of the best things I've ever heard.
It is phenomenal.
Really
I was
is.
into it, like, the first time I heard it. Like, there's a couple, like, Planettes. I was kind of like, on the opening for a lot of the time. This, I was like, yeah, this is my jam.
Well, like, that's what I've said, like, before. Like, I've listened to the opening.
Yeah.
Probably upwards of 100 times at this point over the last couple years.
Yeah.
It's just good. It's like the thing that I really love about it is that it fits exactly with the time period that they're hitting. It's like a big band, jazz-esque, like swing.
Yeah.
And it hits every exciting note of the anime itself, because you have this I'm gonna go into visuals a little bit with this, but like there's a lot of drum hits and like a lot of like fast percussion that really brings this entire thing along with the brass. The trumpets fucking slay me every time. It's so good.
Yeah, dude.
As I just it makes me so
It makes
happy
me think of
listening
Mario Kart 8 music.
Dude, Mario Kart.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It
It's just
reminds
because it's
me-
like jazzy as well.
Yeah.
And it has like that weird thing where like every once in a while there's that one like key that's like, or one note that's like chromatic and doesn't fit in the key at all. But
it's
work it
perfect.
in. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And then I know I'm kind of taking a lot of everyone else's spotlight here, but the
No, you're
opening
fine.
visuals.
It's alright, he's the opening guy.
And that's me. I'm the opening and background.
I just
guy.
listen to the
It's
song.
only thing I
don't
do.
pay attention
Yeah.
to the fucking-
No, I pay attention every time, because so this and Durarara actually have a lot of similarities with the visuals, because it introduces all these characters with their names and like a little cutout of them whenever like each one is introduced with a different color
Like
background.
a little minimalistic.
Yeah.
I fucking love it because it has
Fantastic.
the old timey, like, well, not old timey, but you know, olden text font, along with like, because that's how the Baccano logo is and then it shows all these characters that you're like, and the first time you see it, you're like, holy shit, there's a billion, trillion characters in this. Yeah. But then by the end, you're like, oh yeah, him, her, them, he's dead. Rest in peace, I guess.
That guy's immortal.
Yeah, most of them are immortal.
Yeah.
But and it also feeds into all the personalities that of all the characters that you see much.
You can continue, yeah.
But it's just like all the characteristics of every character is bite-sized, but you can tell like Isaac and Miria are like thieving a candy place. Like they're stealing candy. And then they have like Misa and Firo like shopping at the hat shop that you see like I guess like not halfway through the series. 4 or 5. Yeah, and then you see all the Gandors playing cards. Then you have
Nice and Jacuzzi.
Sillard, that's a stupid name.
Sillard Quates.
And Ennis working on the formula of life, and then like the conductor, who actually I love because the rail tracer /
the rail tracer.
You know they left they left his name out purposefully, right?
Yeah. Claire Stanfield, because I love that because he's in it and he's like not a big part of it, but you can see him and like you notice who he is by like the 3rd or 4th episode, and you're like, that's kind of weird. Why didn't he get something?
Right? Is he not important?
Until you realize he's fucking insane and changes his name every other day. So you're like, oh boy.
Oh, that's
and there's a whole lot of little nuances, like with Lad Russo. He's playing darts while his like fiance is getting like champagne and closing the door at the same time.
It all flows. There's like a flow to everything.
And then at the end, obviously with Jacuzzi and Nice just fucking blowing shit up, and then Eve and whatever his face is, Dallas, yeah, them, and then finally Cheslov, who you're like, dang, look at that boy. Why is he at the end?
Why is this boy so pertinent to the case?
He is though, because he's immortal, and then Isaac and Miria are the jokers, and they wink at you, and it's very cute, and I'm like, yes,
it's fantastic, yeah. But again, the music paired very well with the visuals. This is probably the one time I've not skipped. Maybe one of the one times I've never skipped the opening. The opening is just like you just watch it. I just watch it straight through always. Never skip it.
No, but you've never. Wait a second. I just need to dissect this real quick. So you skipped by Dragon Maid's opening.
Yeah, a couple times.
Maiden Abyss. Maiden Abyss has like
Trigon. I skipped a lot of it. Never.
You skipped Space
Dandy only because I've been listening to it nonstop. Yeah.
Durarara.
Yeah.
I don't even remember Durarara's song.
What?
You could probably go back and like I probably did say I listened to it a lot of the times, or I listened to it, but like I know that at least for this show, never skip the beginning. Never.
Sometimes I'll skip it just like for time, but I did not skip for time
for most
Baccano.
of the anime.
I didn't skip for Kenmo Friends.
I'll skip. Oh, I did not skip for Kenmo Friends.
Look at you there, but you skipped for this one.
La 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 la.
No, I didn't skip for this one. I skipped for Golden Time.
La 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 la.
We all know. Even I skipped the Golden.
Okay, so and then let's head over to the ending.
Okay, so the ending, my friends, the ending I very much like. It's called Calling, and it's sung by Oda Kaori. Thank you. And I think it was a very mellow time. I feel like it actually kind of fit in to the whole hectic scene that is in the show.
I agree with that, but at first it was really like, okay, this is really like out of place to me at first. It felt more right and closer to the end whenever more people like were fucking getting shot and shit. But yeah, at first I was like, this is kind of weird, but it's such a good song that I can't really dock it too many points. Right?
It's another one of those slideshows.
Yeah,
but this is one of the ones that probably my favorite out of the bunch that we've seen thus far, because like yes, it shows the characters and kind of like somber, but it like has the railroad, which is a very important part of it. It's not just one road, and it's and it kind of turns a little bit halfway through, which I like. And then there's the water that is above the tracks that has a reflection of the tracks on, which I also really enjoyed just because, like, you know, Dal is drowning forever for a year and spoilers.
Oh yeah, there's spoilers. You just remember, guys, spoilers.
And he goes, spoilers.
Like, why are you listening to this? There's spoilers.
Spoilers. But yeah, I liked it. Could have definitely been better, but it's the ending.
Now
I'm not gonna hurt.
Let's compare this one with Black Lagoon, because they kind of have something similar, where it's kind of like a much more different take on an ending song than we've had, at least the ones that we've seen in these couple seasons.
Yeah,
Black Lagoons was a lot more like artistic. I feel like overall, like with the visuals added. This one was just kind of like Chuck said, slideshow. That happens a lot, you know.
Very. Well, like with
this is a
Black
good song,
Lagoon,
like on its own.
With Black Lagoon, the song isn't my favorite. Like, there is a little bit of animation with the feet, but that's not a big thing for me. I'm like, you know what, it's fine.
He doesn't like toes, don't forget.
Guys, that's not a bit. It's just a thing
it's
that
just
I just
real.
like. It's just real.
Everybody, don't send him any pictures of toes. Please don't.
Oh my god.
I said they don't, so they won't. This is the internet. They will listen.
Oh my.
Behave yourselves, fappers.
I'm talking to you, Garb. That's all. I was actually referring to you, Garb.
I make no promises.
Okay.
The ending's good.
Ending's very good. I like it as well.
It's very good.
All right. Enough beating around the bush. Let's go into the animation.
So, Chuck.
Let's go.
Them backgrounds are solid. I just didn't want to get that out of the way because I knew you all would be like, "Oh, you stupid moron." I'm like, "You're right."
It's true.
But,
I was waiting on it because I'm an ass.
I know you are. But there's, like, once again, you don't see this a lot in anime, so I'm not drained from it. This isn't Tokyo that I've seen 50,000 times.
Yeah, yeah.
This is, like, I've seen some of this in, like, Western media, like, obviously The Godfather and all those stuff, but you don't. Pino, what was that?
That was me. You said The Godfather. Okay, no, you can continue. That's all right. I'll talk.
Okay. What are you, a tough guy?
Sorry, that was my father.
Oh, hi, Dad.
No, I mean like father. You know,
Jesus.
The mafia.
But so, like, the backgrounds, because there's basically two major parts to it. Either New York you see, or you see the train. The train backgrounds and animation especially plays to the confinedness of a train, like how small the corridors are in little rooms, and you're in a dining car, you're on top of it. Like, there's a lot of fun things that they did with it to really play on, like the old and damp, quiet, confined space that is a train. And then you go to New York, and it's a big old mafia town, and they have all the old cars, and they got just like speakeasies, people just drinking hidden though, because that's illegal.
It's just prohibition. Shh. The war hasn't started yet. Shh. Don't tell the president. Don't tell the heat.
But yeah, it worked very well. And for an anime that was released in 2007, over 10 years ago at this point, I think it did very well for what it had.
It looked good. Like, I will say it's not as colorful as I typically like.
The colors are very like...
Yeah.
Well,
that's what made me say it's one of those quote unquote Pino anime, like Durarara,
but
it's like really gray.
But I really like that kind kind of mostly because it just fits with the time period. Like, when I think of something old, it's like it's Charles Chaplin or like like
I will say it worked more here than it did in Durarara.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't knock it on this just because it's not colorful, because it fits. Like,
it was
100%.
a little more bright too.
There were a couple parts that were like way brighter and that I appreciated greatly, but then there was also a lot of use of dark colors, especially in like the mafia hideouts that they have, which like to shows kind of like the atmosphere that's there, kind of like the crime aspect, and it's kind of dark and there's not a whole lot of good stuff happening, so I really appreciated that. I did notice, there were some like far away anime characters that are
they're
real
fantastic.
not great.
Their mouth
But,
was just
like-
opening and closing, and that was it.
Yeah, but other than that, I didn't notice a lot of things. One thing that I absolutely loved about this is the blood and like parts going back to the body.
I was
That
gonna
was
mention the
really
blood.
cool. I loved it.
It was great, yeah. Like they were very liberal about using blood here too.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
especially the fight scene with Lad Russo, who we'll get into later in the dining area, where he just beats the crap out of a guy in a black suit. So much so that he walks over one of his his buddies, steps on his face, leaves him a black eye, and then continues to pound the other guy until his face is literally kind of like almost concave. And I was like, oh boy, this is it's a goodie.
It got a little grotesque sometimes. I was like, ugh. But
Well, they are kind of beating up and shooting people's heads off. So
Considering it was a pay-per-view show, I was assuming that they could be a little more liberal with a lot of things that they wanted to do.
yeah.
So that's like probably one of the reasons why it's a lot more graphic. Like I'd say even it's much. I feel like it's a lot more graphic than maybe Black Lagoon in terms of blood
100%.
and violence.
yeah.
yeah. There's like some weird stuff in Black Lagoon, but this definitely takes the cake.
Like specifically in the last special where like the mouse gets ran over.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
Oh, that mangled mouse.
Right. I wanted to discuss not only the far away people that appear on the show, but sometimes even the close
But the
up.
women and children too.
All of them. No, I'll kill all of them because my name's Lad.
No. I will say I think the animation fit, at least the designs of the characters, but sometimes their faces seemed a little off. Like it wasn't to the point where I was like, ugh, disgusting. But it was like, okay, this face isn't supposed to look like this.
It wasn't like Kimono Friends.
Right. It also I feel like it also avoided the thing that, again, I'm going to compare Black Lagoon a lot. It also tried to avoid kind of that realism. And like they kind of they mixed. I feel like they mixed it much better than they did in Black Lagoon, because in Black Lagoon we had our boy Dutch, who was like very like.
And then there's realistic, and then there's Rock.
And then there's Rock.
Who's just an anime character.
Right. Here we have.
I'm just a Japanese anime character, but you can call me Rock.
I'm your protagonist.
Hi, I'm Ash Ketchum.
But here we have like a lot of different like faces that actually fit together. Like all the kids, again, they look kind of they look very anime. Some of these eyes that people have, even the serious characters, are like big and like round, like big.
Or like the old guy. What's his name? The old guy who's immortal. Who's
Zillard.
like 200.
Zillard Quace.
Sure.
The guy with the
With
beard.
the beard.
The one who speaks, like the one who had talked to the other old guys.
That was really good.
Goes like this.
Right.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay.
His eyes were like perfectly intimidating.
Oh yeah.
Good.
And also
because he looked old and creepy.
there was the other like some of these characters don't even open their eyes too, which again like it doesn't bother me. It just makes me think back to like old cartoons, which kind of fit as well, at least in my opinion. So like you had like there was like a guy in what's it, Jacuzzi's gang. There was two guys.
Sugar Cube never opened his eyes.
Sugar Cube never opened his eyes. They all have the Walker effect from Durarara. It's just they
Guys,
just
his
don't.
name is Mr. Sugar Cube. Actually, no, his eyes did open.
Yeah, you want a sugar?
my
you want some?
Hey, you want some? I want some of my Sugar Cube.
Something else I don't see a lot in anime is and again, I guess it has to do with the time period that they're focusing on. Is you don't see a lot of different like colors on the actual like people themselves. Like we had a nice variety of like different races that represented.
You could
here.
have worded that in 1,000 better ways.
Yeah, that
Do we
was
want to
real
bleep that
bad.
out?
No,
We're not.
Perfect.
No, it's
I
fine.
just like
It
the
was just
diversity that
really
we have here.
weird.
Yeah,
That's what
There
I
you
like.
go.
The diversity.
The only thing that
There you go.
it's getting better in anime at the time, but Duga, the African American employee of the newspaper, has the very stereotypical like big lips, and I'm like, I don't really like that. But that's
Yeah, but the Mexican
There is-
guy doesn't look Mexican. I thought he was Native American.
I get
It's just-
that, like, it's supposed to be like the 1930s, but it's still fucking racist.
well, but like I don't think that's because they were trying to go
Yeah,
for that
no.
feel. I think that's just how they were drawn.
Yeah.
When it was they're like anime and manga is definitely like straying away from that.
Yeah.
But there's still a lot that's happening, and it kind of every time I saw him, I'm like, oh, okay.
I actually thought he was one of my. I liked his
No,
style.
I liked him as a character for sure.
You know, have you ever seen Rush Hour 2, where you had Don
Yes.
Cheadle like wearing the robe?
Yes.
He reminded me of Duga because he had like that kind of Chinese attire. I was like, is he gonna tell me he has like a Chinese like martial artist master? But no, it was Donnie. Donnie's the Mexican. Sorry. He says so himself. He's like, I walked all the way here from Mexico. Nobody told me to come here.
Nobody told me to come here.
But no, is there anything else we want to talk about the animation wise?
No.
It was pretty good. Like obviously wasn't the best animation I've ever seen, but it worked.
It works.
And there was no part that took me out of the experience.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was above average, but it didn't blow me away.
All right. Let's see. Soundtrack. Sound design.
Soundtrack's real good.
Yep.
Oh my god.
The score.
Good.
Every single song is good.
There's like a
And like
right,
there was in the like how you mentioned that the opening is very like traditional for the period.
Yeah.
There were a lot more bits of modern mixing
Right.
in music strewn
Yeah.
about throughout the overall OST, but it's great. Like no points against it. Obviously, it's just a neat little observation.
Yeah. No, there's definitely like in a couple of songs you can hear like a guitar that's like obviously an electric guitar that's not
But I mean, that still
timely.
like works.
But no,
it still works.
There's nothing that took me out of it once again, and there's a lot of like so. I'm talking about Lad again, Lad Russo. When he was like beating someone up, there's a lot of stray chords that you hear, and a lot of just notes that to me at least they seemed like they were improv, and just seemed like some guy was sitting watching this and just started like just would play at like a hit, just a random note. Honest, like it's real fucking good. I'm just gonna say that right now. I loved this entire soundtrack.
Yeah, me too. They took advantage of it. Like they played it like louder than a lot of shows. You know, they owned it, and they knew they had a good soundtrack.
They gave it room to breathe. Like they didn't try and fit everything with dialogue. Sometimes like actions and music can speak louder than words, and that is, you can see it most prominently here because it is so good. Like, oh my god, this one of my favorite anime OSTs ever. Just flat out.
Hey man, the entire thing's on YouTube if you'd like to take a swing. I've been listening to it for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've been listening to the SoundCloud.
Ooh.
They have all of that music on SoundCloud.
So good.
That's good.
Very good.
It just makes me so happy.
There are some tracks that actually kind of remind me of the same kind of style that actually some of the tracks in Durarara have. There's only like one or two I believe that just like slaps me in the face. I'm like, I've heard this somewhere else before, and like the series that only pops up to mind is Durarara, and I kind of like
the
that.
Same composer, maybe.
Perhaps I could probably double check, but I won't. I mean, I will. Let's see. Let's take our time. Music by
Check the wiki.
Makoto Yoshimori.
No, there's one song that in particular that I absolutely adore.
Same composer.
Yeah, makes sense. It's Rojiura no Hosoko. That's the song that it plays when Isaac and Miria are digging. Like that's the harmonica song, but then it leads into like guitar, and it's a fucking bop, dude. Like holy shit. Guys, if anyone wants to figure out what that's referencing, check out Upchucked on YouTube. You'll find a very funny video.
Very funny.
Can you just put it in the description because it's really fun?
Yeah, well, the description for the
YouTube
for the YouTube upload. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's good though. It makes me giggle.
We all love the music. It's fantastic.
Music is fucking fantastic. It's not like if I was like to try and put it against something like JoJo. You can't do it.
It's like two different things.
They're so different. And And like Baccano is definitely an outlier of anime soundtracks, but it's so fucking good.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about it.
There's not a single. There's not a single song that I do not like. Which is
there's not
wild.
one where I'm like, this song, you know.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Understandable.
Put that on a shirt.
Okay.
All right. So if there's no more things for the soundtrack, I'd actually like to talk a little bit in depth about the plot. Are we good?
Go for it.
All right. So this series
You should
takes
describe the plot out of order too.
I was going to explain that. Yes.
Of course I was going to describe that as my episode.
So this show takes storytelling in a different way, and according to a couple sources that I've been reading, it's actually been inspired by a different type of storytelling that I believe, if I have the right tab open in a second,
God, I know.
was inspired by the movie 21 Grams, which is a 2003 film where
I've not heard of it.
I haven't heard of it either, but apparently it was also not a very linear narrative. It was a lot of pieces scattered around, and then to tell an ultimate story.
I made the joke that, like, is this going to be some, like, Pulp Fiction ass shit here?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it. So the beginning of the series starts off in a little room with a little girl, and who we don't know at the time is actually the news reporter, or the head honcho of the what's the name, the newspaper place in the New York. I don't remember what it's called, sadly.
I don't remember either.
And it's them discussing sort of the events that happened aboard the train called the Flying Pussyfoot, I believe in the early 1930s. And so
it was in the 30s.
1931 is when the Pussyfoot was on its way.
And so it's a lot of this little girl and this reporter kind of talking about when this story actually begins. And they pose a lot of things like, oh, this story actually begins a year earlier when so-and-so happened. Or this actually took place years ago in the 1700s aboard a different ship. And the first time I saw the first episode, I was not entirely sure where they were going, but they were throwing a lot of information out at you. They throw names, they throw little segments, and at first it just felt a little bit overwhelming, but it's like it's the good kind where you're like, okay, so this is like a mystery show.
Yeah,
where you're trying to put the pieces together, and I really like that. And every episode from there on, anytime it would be a different segment, most of the times they would show you the date that it would take you to, but more of the other times, once you got used to what the time periods were, which you were either in the city of New York, you were either on the Pussyfoot, or you were either on the boat, they would ignore that, and they would kind of flow in a kind of strange manner. You'd be in New York for a couple scenes, and then explosion, you're back on the train. Or you're on the train and you find blood everywhere, and then bam, this library was shot up and whatnot. And the story keeps going that way. It feeds you information little by little, and sometimes it gives you information ahead of time than what you realize. They actually showed you the end at the beginning as well.
Really?
Yeah, and upon my second watch through, you see a lot of these like nuances and these little details that you didn't realize before, and I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I believe it was the first or second episode, they're at the train station, right? And Miza's staring at someone we don't know yet, and his frown turns into a smile. And I'm just like, oh, that's when he saw Chesla. And then lo and behold, at episode 13, that's when that was Chesla. I was like, oh my, okay, this is good. And like, you can piece all these things together, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this show is blowing my mind right now. But again, every episode is just like, it focuses.
It sounds like they
certain...
wanted people to rewatch this,
like, and it's very rewatchable.
It's a shame that they didn't put it on anything except like Blu-ray. Then,
I mean, maybe Toonami picks it up.
That's my Toonami plug.
Actually, I don't work for them.
What?
Toonami, please sponsor.
Toonami,
guys, Toonami, could you
Let's put
sponsor
Toonami and Crunchyroll at war.
Guys, if Toonami just wanted to put our podcast on the air,
that'd be great.
You could do that.
There's no way in hell.
Hey, you never know.
No one would be stupid enough.
Hey, we were stupid enough to make it.
I mean, and we have people listening. Okay, that's just me.
We have a person listening.
We have our moms.
What is he
My
saying?
mom would
I
never
can't
listen to
understand
trash.
That's my mom.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I love this kind of non-linear storytelling, which again, I'm crazy about this stuff. But how was it for you guys when you kind of got into the first couple episodes?
I feel like I should have hated it, but I was okay with it.
What do you mean?
I just sort of accepted it.
I hate this. I mean, like, are you more of like you want the information now?
No,
No, you just.
no, just whatever. I'm not in any hurry.
There's no madness behind the mayhem.
No.
Okay.
Like, I just, it was confusing a little bit at first, because, like, you see one, like, a newspaper, or, like, a girl in, like, a newspaper guy just, like, talking about this event, and then it throws you into this event, but then it goes, like, the year after, and then the year before, and you're like, what the fuck? Like, there's so much.
I
but,
know, right?
It feels like your grandpa telling you a story. It really does. Where it's like, oh, wait, I have to explain this part first, and then,
And you're like,
okay.
oh my
and then
God.
This. Yeah.
But I did really like the I liked it a lot. Once you like get past the first like episode or two and you know these characters,
Yeah.
it works.
Once you get the
worked.
outline down and like you can kind of easily put it in place.
Yeah, it's
Maybe not easily, but
Here's a tidbit for you boys. Apparently, according to the wiki, it took about over a year for this script to firmly be developed.
that does not surprise me.
That doesn't surprise
With a
me
lot
at all,
of a lot of
Jesus.
things, and I'm just like, wow, the dedication and the
Well,
result
yeah, you can
and the result that we got at the end, where it's
you can
cohesive.
definitely tell.
Yeah.
Like, there's no plot holes that I feel like were like in the show at all. I feel like everything was at the end just closed off completely. Like everything.
I'm not good at picking out plot holes,
Oh,
so it wouldn't matter to me.
I'm good at picking my nose.
Yeah, me too. I'm doing it right now.
that make
Okay, that's disgusting.
type it out. Type it out now. Type that you were yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't type it. I was just kidding.
My nose.
I'm painting my room.
My room.
Clouds?
Clouds?
But yeah, no. I'm surprised. I thought I would actually have one of you not like the this kind of storytelling or this kind of way that this anime was set up. But I'm glad that
What's
you
that
guys.
supposed to mean?
I don't know, man.
I did that preemptive thing where, like, whenever you told me that it was going to be done that way, I was like, that sounds stupid.
Yeah,
That's
no.
going to be stupid.
I was like, hey.
And then I watched it and I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine.
right.
I don't think you told.
No,
I don't
you-
think
you
I
told
you
me.
told me anything.
I was like, you better pay attention because this story is like everywhere. And then he's like, this is stupid. It was like the first week.
Well, that's what Garb says anyway.
Yeah.
All right. So again,
What do we got now?
I mean, since we talked about how the story was kind of unlinear, right? But like, if we were to put it in a linear sense, it all starts. I'm just gonna real fast. It's ages ago, and these immigrants, I believe, are traveling to the New World. As a result, they decided to summon a demon using was it alchemy, I think, or
alchemy.
The
Yeah,
Dragon Balls?
they were all alchemists.
and they all wanted this elixir, this panacea, to give them.
And they summoned Shenron.
They summon a guy. He gives them the panacea, but he gives only one of the characters, Misa, the knowledge of how to make this thing. And now everyone on the boat's like, yeah, I'm fine with this. And then we have this old man by the name of Sillard who didn't like that, kills everyone on the boat. Well, most people on the boat.
He tries to, like, that's his life goal at this point.
And, you know, that event happened. Everybody from the boat split off into their own little sections. Flash forward to a couple years to the 1900s. You have 1930s. You have Misa, who was part of the that boat, working with the mafia, with the I believe it's with the Gandor family. And he is he's basically like the mentor of a guy named what's his name, Firo. The old man, Sillard, who was on the boat, is trying to make the elixir all these years ahead. Chesla, who was also on the boat, he's looking out for himself at this point. And
He's just a boy.
right, and around this time, it's where the events of the flying. It's the events of, I believe, the events that first happen are Sillard dying, I believe, because that would explain why Isaac and Miria are immortal on the Pussyfoot when they meet Ches.
Yeah.
And then, so it's the whole Misa, Firo, and Sillard incident trying to get rid of Sillard while Sillard is trying to get the Panacea. And then a year later, flying Pussyfoot with Jacuzzi, Isaac and Miria, and the Black Suits and Lad Russo on the train trying to get to New York.
Because Ennis is lonely.
But again, if you watch the entire series, you'll understand. My explanation was probably a little too general, but I recommend watching it. All right, let's move
Yeah,
on.
it's kind of a hard one to explain.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, just
It's
watch
about
it.
vampires.
They go.
They eat you with
And
their
there's
hands.
two kinds of immortals. There's people who are immortal, but they keep aging and they just get real old. And then there's the ones that stay the same age
Well, there's
forever.
also the homunculus, which is what Ennis is, but
Well, the getting real old part is because
It was imperfect.
It was an imperfect
Yeah.
elixir. Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, this show.
I think on the wiki they call them imperfect immortals.
yeah, and it goes everywhere. But that's a lot of damage. All right, so.
Well, wasn't that perfect at that point?
At that point, I was only in the 2 bottles that were perfect. They gave Dallas and
Yes.
his pals the one that isn't.
The imperfect one.
Yeah, and that's why.
Well, then
That's why they
then
grow old.
But then that's why all of the Russo family,
Right.
not the Russo family, the Gandors,
Gandors, the Russos.
they're all never gonna age.
What were the other? What was the other family? The
There was the Gandors,
Martillo.
the
Martillo.
Russos, and the Martillo family.
Oh gosh, the Martillos. But all right, that's basically the plot. Let's move on. This is my favorite part because I like to group every character together in their specific groups. So let's start with the people on the boats. I'm gonna split it up by time period. So we'll talk about all the people who existed, who were already immortal. So let's talk about Misa first. It's really quick. He wasn't too big
Hey,
here,
Misa.
but he has an important role in the series. Misa was basically the main alchemist on the ship, and he had a little brother who he shared the information with, who was then murdered or consumed by Sillard. I like Misa.
Yep. Misa doesn't really appear that much in the anime just because he wasn't on the boat, or not the boat, the train.
Yeah.
But he's still
He's
great.
like he's still pertinent, yeah. But I just want to bring him up.
Didn't he
'cause-
show up like near the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was in the
he
beginning and in
sprinkled
the end
near
because
end,
he's
yeah.
well, because he's part of the
Gandors.
the Gandors.
But
So that's why he was there at the train station at the end.
two main ones we're going to focus on now is just Sillard and Chesla. So let's start with Sillard. What do you guys think? Sillard,
I don't like him.
he's evil. He's an old man. Selfish.
He was
scares
cool.
me.
Yeah, oh,
Like I said, he's really intimidating, and I really liked the final fight with him. That was real cool.
Oh yeah, it was a cool fight, mostly because they called him a dingus.
and they run him over. I thought that
And I
was
suck him up.
right. Like
Consume.
for an old man, like I like what he told Misa. He was like, "You were just here, like not honing your skills. Here I am, like 200 years later, focusing on the day that I kill you or something like that." I'm like, this old man is gonna. He knows kung fu. He's gonna kick my butt.
Yes.
And I felt like, I felt that intimidation from him at least because he's like, I would call him the father, but he just created Ennis, which is like beyond me of how that even works.
Yeah, no.
And-
and they like have a mind connection.
And then like I started asking questions once he was consumed. I'm like, where does Ennis lie in all this? Is she still alive? I guess she is because she's not dead yet. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, and she was saying that like she's dying, and then he was like, "Wow, I don't know how, but I know the thing that would make you not die."
I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because I guess I consumed.
Yum yum.
Tasty.
What happened
Tastes
to
like
all the
sky.
Sillard? I eat those food.
I
I
eat
ate those food.
All right, and Ches.
What happened to the Martillo family? I ate those food.
What happened to the passengers on the train?
I threw them off.
What happened to Misa's little brother?
I did not.
You should have burned.
No, he was definitely eating those foods.
He burned.
I'm thinking of someone else. I'm thinking of
Cheslov.
Who we're going on to next. Cheslov is a little boy who stayed little because he drank the panacea in the boat.
When he was little.
He was but a bab.
And he has a very troubled history. I felt kind of bad.
I swear to God that his voice actor is Dende.
It's Dende
from Dragon Ball.
It's got to be Dende.
Okay.
Because of that scream.
I'll look it up right now.
Go look it up. But
Maxie Whitehead, who's
while
that?
you do that, I'll just explain a little bit about
Dende. Yep.
Dende.
Well, Dende from Kai, not the original.
Yeah, from Kai.
Yeah.
So Cheslov, he was very buddy with another man. I don't remember his name per se.
Who?
Because like when he was on the boat, Cheslov was always seen next to this long-haired guy whose eyes you would never see, right?
Oh yeah, he was the evil guy.
He was the evil guy.
Poked eyes.
So he stayed with this long-haired man who I'm looking for the name right now, and for over, I believe, maybe a century or more, he was tortured by this man.
No, not Beg Garrod. It's Lebrew Fermet Viralasque.
Mm-hmm. We'll just call him Lebrew for short. All right,
LeBron.
LeBron. Dude, LeBron
is what they call him. Dude, I can't believe LeBron is
so
immortal.
LeBron was torturing this little boy for most of his life, and I've always felt bad for Ches at that moment. Once I found out that he was just like abused,
poked in the eyes,
and it was all for the excuse of seeing the limits of their power. Even though obviously the limits is you're never gonna die, you're just gonna come back any second, and it comes a time where Ches has enough and consumes him with his hand. And ever since then, he's just been living on his own, trying to make his way around the world, trying not to be eaten.
Yep. It happens.
Yeah. That was cool when he got his head blown off, though, at the beginning, right? You didn't.
And then they went.
You didn't expect that, did you?
Nope.
It has a lot of that.
Yeah. No, there's one character that. Well, he's an immortal. He was on the original boat. Elmer C. Albatross. Fucking love this guy. He's the smiling guy.
Let me see you smile.
Come on,
I'm an albatross.
I came to see you smile.
Come on.
It was a joke that only two
Come
people
on,
will
Sylvie, please smile.
Come on, I just want to smile.
I thought he was great.
And that's why I like him, because he smiles.
He smiles. He's a happy man.
That part's spooky to me.
So I'm gonna get into a little side thing here, at least with Ches. So since these couple episodes, or these episodes that we saw, were only like the beginning parts of the light novel of an ongoing series, it's actually discovered that Mr. LeBron is actually alive. He was not consumed.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for everyone else who wanted to read it. But he's alive, and he's like, he's doing some stuff. And this story takes, I think right now they're currently in the year 2002 currently with the light novel. Okay. So there's a lot of things that happen over the past.
I remember the ending scene of the main show, the 13 episode original run, ended in 2001.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why aren't we dead yet? No.
I don't know.
We haven't aged.
All right, let's.
Okay, what's that, cat daddy?
Meow.
All right, so let's move on to the year 1930. Let's talk about let's have some fun. We're gonna talk about Jacuzzi's gang. Let's start off with
Jacuzzi's a good guy.
Talk about the big honcho himself, Jacuzzi Splots.
He kind of talks like this. He also,
hey, it's me, Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzis.
I love him.
I can't believe
he's a sweet.
I was in love with him from the first moment.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, his whole thing is that he and Nice were childhood friends, and after an accident that you actually see in the anime, Nice loses her eyes and is one of her eyes and is badly scarred.
Yeah,
and as a result, Jacuzzi wants to be as an act of solidarity and friendship, gets a huge tattoo on the side of his eye.
Yeah, the sword tattoo. And that scene with her blowing her eye off, that was fucking scary.
I know, right?
that was probably the scariest part of this entire anime, because it's just her like playing with an explosive, then it blows her face, and she just screams for like 10 seconds. That like creeped the shit out of me. It was so scary. Oh my god!
And after the years passed by, I believe that they eventually, create a little gang, and they primarily like bootleg things. So like, they work in the underground world of the
because it is the
Prohibition.
1930s.
Yeah. So like, they make bombs thanks to Nice, who obviously didn't learn her lesson.
Well, she did. She hasn't blown herself up since.
Yeah, see.
And so, I mean, they've been blowing up other stuff, but
But not them.
So, their activities, they do some thievery, they do some bootlegging, they do some theft, they gamble, the usual, mafioso gangster stuff. Except these are a little, like a close-knit gang. Like, I think about 20 or something. But I like I like Jacuzzi because he has that kind of leadership thing. The only problem, and I wouldn't call it a problem,
but he's such a freaker-outer,
is that he has this issue that he like freaks out and cries. Like, he's very overly sensitive.
Well, he's scared. Wouldn't you be scared?
I mean, yes, I would be scared, but that's a lot to take in.
It is, and he just cries. So then, whenever a hard situation comes up, he can't cry, and he said he already cried.
And I think that's actually like,
I think it's
a big mood.
Yes,
it's a really interesting character trait that I really enjoy.
It's not your typical haha, never fear, I'm here. It's more of a save me. Which
we're all screwed. Zoinks.
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 Raggy. What you doing, Rokuzi?
That's so stupid.
Where's the caveman?
Well, I'm in here.
And I'm out here,
in the rail,
and he's out there.
but I want to know
and
where the rail
caveman's a
tracer
sheriff.
is. The rail tracer's out there, and we're in here. But wait, we're out
And
there.
he's the conductor.
But wait, we're not really the conductor, but I'm in here. But who's the sheriff? Oh, man.
Yeah, but
He's a
It
good
was
boy.
good.
He's a good
I
boy.
really like him.
Apparently, he's got a grandson called Bobby Splot. So that's something to look out for. I love that.
Bobby Splot?
Bobby?
I'm painting my room, Dad. Clouds? Clouds?
Anyways. Next,
You do such a good impression of him.
we have the ever so wonderful lady who blew up her eyes, Nice Hollystone. Nice is a very a good contrast to Jacuzzi. She's outgoing. She's very I guess social. She's the one who pushes Jacuzzi to be more social. It'd be good for him, Like he's. I feel like Holly's the whole reason that he is actually talked to Isaac and Miria along with Ches and the senator's daughter, giving him the, I guess, the reasons to save the people on the train as opposed to just like,
Oh, we gotta get out of here.
Yep.
but yeah, sorry for your eyes, niece.
Got him.
Got him. All right,
It happens.
It happens. Let's see. I want to talk about more pertinent characters. We got those two out of the way. Let's talk about some of our baddies. We'll talk about Lad Russo.
Hey, it's me, lad. I like to kill.
Now, yeah, Lad Russo. He has a knack for killing. He thinks that it's fun for him, and he has. Well, he's basically the strongest guy in that boat or on that train, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's a sadistic man. From a Russo family. I believe they are located in Chicago. I believe, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And he has his own set of followers who wear white suits on the train, who are also as sadistic as he is. Now, I personally, even though he's a horrible, horrible, horrible man, I very much enjoyed his character a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yep.
the part where he's like, "Oh, I hear screaming," and he starts skipping down the hallway. I was just like,
Yeah.
"This man is something."
Also, the skipping
else.
animation was pretty
Yes,
good.
it was very good. Hey, I mean, I'm not only the man of the hops, I also love the skips. But no, he's just so. I don't want to say. Well, I guess he is like. He's so full of himself. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
the best. But the way of thinking that he has, it's just so different from everyone else. He's so loud. He's proud. He's
Yeah.
out there.
He's a weirdo.
He's a weirdo, but this
real
this
weirdo.
weirdo's like the best character, or at least one of the best characters in my opinion. Like, Remember, I think it was in episode 2 where you actually see him and he's like on the floor. No, it's episode 1 probably. He's like on the ground and like he lifts his hands up and it's just literally the bone of his arm. And I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck did this man do to receive this? And like finding out, I'm just like, this man is hard boiled as they come. Oh god.
Yeah.
I like eggs.
I like eggs. Also, he has a girlfriend he
Eggs
wants
are
to kill.
tasty. Yeah.
Don't let anyone kill you before I do, okay?
I'll kill you before I kill me before I kill you.
Kill you. But unless I die, then I can kill you while I'm dead.
Gotcha.
I'll figure it out.
It happens. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let's talk about our boy. Our next boy is another strong contender for best girl, in my opinion. His name is Claire. His name's Claire. I forgot his last name. That's why I kept saying Claire.
His name is Stanfield.
Claire Stanfield, though you don't see his name at the beginning of the series, is the conductor of the train who has many aliases. He is also known as Vino for I believe the Martillos and the Gandors.
Yeah.
He's known as the Rail Tracer for everyone on the train and Jacuzzi. And oh my gosh, this man.
It's the Rail Tracer.
We gotta get out of
He's
here.
really good.
He does that
He's a
voice
really
so well.
he's a really interesting character just because he kills and then he changes his name then kills some
I
more.
know. And the weird thing is, he's like not like if you talk to him and if you paid your ticket, he's not a bad guy.
He just chills.
He's just like he's also very full of himself. He has that belief that he can't die, which I thought was like,
which is funny because he's not
immortal,
an
but it's like he's like that whole kind of like persona about him was kind of scary at my first watch. I was like, this man is insane. Like, I'm the director of this movie. I cannot die. And like, good Lord, like I don't think he can die.
We don't know.
Yeah. But what do you guys think about him?
He was great. I liked him a lot. He was out of nowhere, and you're like, "Oh fuck, here he comes."
Here comes Claire.
It's the boy.
Don't make fun of his name. It's not a girl name.
Dumb.
And his the only thing I kind of was confused about, even though I guess I liked at the end, was his romance with a Miss Chane, which is I didn't know how I felt about that whole like I love you now.
Yeah, it kind of seemed a little bit out of place, but it still kind of fit with the characters of those two.
I mean, it doesn't help that she can't talk, but you know.
No,
Yeah.
Well, then that's just another weird thing about them.
Right, yeah.
Right.
All right. Claire's out of the way. Let's talk about...
Come on, rapid fire.
Firo. Let's talk about Firo, the guy who looks like the main character.
Hey, it's me, Firo.
I like Firo.
Firo's a good character. Doesn't get enough screen time.
He's a nice boy. He just wanted to give her button back. He wanted...
He just wanted to be in the mafia.
Right, yeah. And then he got promoted.
Don't
and
we
they
all?
shot Isaac.
Isaac, you're gonna die, Isaac? Yeah, eventually. That was the funniest part. I legitimately laughed.
Oh my gosh! You know what? Let's forget every other character. Let's move on to Isaac and
Guys,
Miria. Let's talk about why we're really here.
They are the best characters. Just
Easily.
flat out.
Easily.
They're funny. They bring so much because like it's dreary pretty much for this anime. But then you have these two who are just fucking goofy, having a great time. They dress up as weird characters, and they
I want a
just
show
have-
just about them.
Honestly, I'd be okay with it. Just them thieving.
The best part is that their Wikipedia is it's both of them combined, so it's Isaac and Miria.
Well, of course. Well, yeah. They,
Like-
like Isaac, and then Miria's basically just second.
Right.
It's just the second person.
Like from the looks of them, you would never think that they've robbed like many mafia, many buildings, many people, and yet
Many doors.
Yet they're wanted all over the all over the United States. Like that time we stole that museum door.
How can they get in if we take the door? God, it's so fucking funny.
You're sad because of all the money in your house? Then we'll take it for you.
Yeah. And you will
Then
have
there's nothing to be
a
worried
good
about.
life.
How?
They were fucking...
They're
God, it's
they're
just
really
so
good.
I love them all.
and
they're just great.
They're great. They're the comedic relief. They don't know they're eternal.
The much needed.
Very much needed in such a dreary
But they
environment.
also play a pretty decent part of the story.
Like, they know they have a connection to every one of the characters, at least.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's just because they're so nice and they talk to people.
Right. Even if they got run over by a car.
It happens. You come back here.
Oh, if I find them. Oh my gosh.
When you
if I
steal
find
from
them.
one of these big families, they come after you. So you have to start stealing from a smaller family for a while.
Merry
That's why
Christmas.
That's a month early. I know.
They were dressed up as
Doesn't-
as Babe Ruth.
The Babe Ruth and Ty Cops when they just doesn't this wipe out like 50 of our robberies? Yeah, that makes sense.
God, you know my favorite scene.
Well,
with them-
Miria, let's go.
My favorite scene is when they go into the hat store, and it's like,
Oh my god.
You didn't see anything.
Act very act like we belong. Oh, what are we
That was so
supposed to
good.
buy? His eyes were staring right into me. He knew our every move. It's fucking good.
I didn't know you guys were a nun and a pastor.
A sister, and
and a father.
a father and a sister.
That was so good.
I'm the man of the cloth. Oh my god, it's so funny.
They're just like the
I
best.
love
If you
them.
needed a good laugh,
They-
this is where you'd find it.
Oh my god! And then they do like good stuff too. Like they save Ches from falling off the
Yeah.
thing. It's just such a good.
They're very
Good
very
characters.
loyal, especially when someone does something nice to them.
And they're just nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like very like even though they're robbers, they're like trusting. And
They're also we're gonna rob from the earth.
we are going to steal from the earth. Right.
4 months later. Oh my gosh, so good.
I love it so much.
They're the best. And like
And I love how they got a letter from
Dennis.
from Ennis, and that's why they were on the Flying Pussyfoot.
If it weren't for that letter, they'd probably still be alive. I mean, they're still alive, but you know.
But they would be less alive because they would have died.
Dennis and Miser.
Not that elixir.
We got a letter.
From Ennis.
Yeah?
It's such a stupid thing.
All right. Is there any other pertinent characters we actually want to talk about? I feel like I've
There's
covered
no
the
one
important
huge.
ones
We talked,
at least.
Yeah.
we talked about basically everyone except for Shane. Not for it. It was just
Shanae?
the silent girl.
No, we talked
Yeah, we
about
talked
it.
about it a little.
Well, we didn't talk. We
Oh right. I mean, I guess
she's-
Chane is the love interest for Claire. Her
Yeah.
father is actually another one of the boat dwellers, Mr. Huey. I always laugh at his name.
And
I don't give a
Huey.
rat's ass about Mr. Huey.
it's so funny because like it's a name that would be during that time.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Huey LaFerre.
It's here. Huey LaFerre is just a good
Right.
name.
Huey was so detached from the story, which kind of I didn't care too much for him, especially
Nah.
when he came into the picture. Apparently, Huey has 2 other daughters that we didn't see in this series.
Yeah, Dewey and Louie.
LaFerre tales. Woo. Staying alive and eating people. Huey. Woo.
We got a thumbnail, boys.
Huey LaFerre.
That's good. Yeah. So I think that's all,
That's
the, characters,
characters. Yeah, that's all I kind of
I mean, there's a couple, but whatever.
like.
Who
I love the
cares? There's
Gandors,
too
but
many.
like they don't do much. They just get shot up
Yeah.
a bunch.
Yeah.
I love the the opposing family that they had, the Martillos. No, it wasn't the Martillos. It was the Runeradas. There we go, the Runeradas,
The Runarada.
which
Rada.
which was
Rada.
they had a whole beef with the Genoward family with Eve. I guess Eve
beef.
and Dallas are kind of important
beef.
because that's the other side story that took place in the 30s, I believe, where they're trying to find the location
Yeah.
of Dallas because Dallas.
Guys, shoutouts to Brutal Foods.
Guys, shout outs to messing with the mafia.
Hey, Mafia, can you sponsor us?
Mafia.
And only if you're not acquaintances with Dallas. Shh, don't tell Dallas.
Don't tell Dallas.
Don't tell.
Just don't tell Dallas about this.
Don't tell Dallas about this. I'll shoot you.
We are the worst humans.
But no, yeah,
so-
it's not. I feel like the whole character section, or at least the whole characters in the show, like it's not enough to just talk about them individually because there's so much intrapersonal relationships.
Interconnection. Yeah.
Interconnection, not only with individuals, but groups. Yes.
You should watch it.
Just watch it.
Why are you here right now if you haven't watched it? Like, this probably makes no sense to people who haven't watched it.
So come back here when you watch. Come back to this time frame and then start the episode again.
Okay.
Okay, cool. But if that's everything else, I guess we can move on to a different segment, I guess.
Welcome to the 24th edition of Who's the Best Grill, part of the podcast where each contestant puts forward their choice for Best Grill of the episode and duke it out for the title of Best Grill. Today, our contestants, as always, will never die, will never change. We're immortal, are Pino, Garb, and myself. Who are you each advocating for?
Garb, you can go.
I picked Jacuzzi.
All right, Chuck, you can go next.
I picked Isaac and Maria.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I didn't think
He went with both of them.
You went with both of them, so I couldn't choose. Give me a second. I gotta look down the.
I picked Sugar Cube.
No, I don't pick Sugar Cube. I actually just imagine.
You said Ennis before.
Who did I say?
You said Ennis before the podcast started.
No, I'm not picking Ennis anymore. I'm picking Niece. I'm picking Niece.
I'm picking Niece?
I'm picking Niece.
I'm picking my nose.
We made that joke already.
Call back.
Don't call it a comeback.
Guys, we went full circle.
Guys, we
Guys,
didn't
gamers.
know what.
Garb, let's start with you. Why is Jacuzzi
I like
so high up
Jacuzzi.
there?
Because he's so freaky outy and he's funny. He's a cute boy. How old
He's a
is
funny
he?
boy.
Jacuzzi
Or
at the
like-
time, he's probably
No,
kind of old.
he's like 20 something,
Yeah,
right?
at least.
How old was he when he was like immortalized?
He immortalized.
He's not immortal.
Oh no! Oh yeah, he's mortal. Oh shit!
That's why he
I
has,
just kind of assumed that everyone.
he has a grandkid
That's probably a
called
freaker outer.
called Bobby.
Yeah.
That's probably why he's such a freaker outer.
It's
because I don't have kids.
Oh no.
Listen, he's a leader. He's a good boy.
He's the
okay?
leader of the bunch. You know him
You
well.
know him well.
When he cries a lot, you're gonna cry with him. That was bad. Oh yeah.
Chunky's dead.
Just for you.
Okay. I don't know. Jacuzzi's a little bit too screamy
I like
for
Jacuzzi.
me.
He's got that.
Have
I
you
like
talked to
him
me?
too.
I'm
Yeah, that's why I don't
screaming.
like you.
Jacuzzi is a crier. You might need to invest in a lot of tissues because he's gonna need them.
It's
Kleenex,
fine.
double.
I have some
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, but that doesn't cover
Here, I'll
all
take
of the
He's got.
I'll take some out now.
He's got a huge scar on his face. Okay.
It's not a scar, it's a tattoo.
He's got a giant tattoo on his face. He won't make.
See, he's just loyal.
Look, if you're gonna kill someone,
Yeah, so
he'll
if-
judge you if you kill someone.
Yeah.
Actually, he won't. He's a good boy.
No. He'll forgive you because he's a good boy.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
I don't think I could
He's
say
my
anything
pet.
Who's a
bad
good
about.
boy?
I can't say anything bad about Jacuzzi. Not really.
Yeah, he's good. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the thing, right?
Guys, Isaac and Miria are the best. Why is my
I can't
grill?
shit talk him.
You can't. I can't.
Because-
Thing.
See, so I was thinking at the beginning of this episode, I'm like, well, I need to pick both of them because it's like two peas in a pod, yin and yang. You can't separate them.
Except for that.
So I'm
bot.
just like, why not take both of them? So that's what I did. Welcome to the first time anyone's ever been so selfish. They picked two grills for the price of one. And they're great. They're happy. They like dressing up. They'd be great at Halloween.
Oh yeah,
They're very
would.
sneaky. They're very nice people.
They're breaking the law. They're criminals. They should be arrested and put in a clown college
Nah.
for community service.
They already do community service. They gave money out to the
They
poor.
stole.
Remember?
No, they did their time in 2001 at the end of the series when they stole cell phones because the kids keep using their cell phones.
Yeah, they keep using their
All
cell
these
phones.
microwaves.
The
All
microwaves.
these microwaves.
They're tearing families apart.
The nuclear family is no more.
I love it. I love them so much.
They're great.
They're
They're the
great.
comedic relief, like we said. Like
That's me.
The bad.
the show would probably not be half as good without
No,
them.
absolutely not. They're vital to the success of this show, if it had any. Oh, God.
It did not, sadly.
Big rip.
Big rip.
Yeah.
All right, I can't really trash talk Isaac or Miria. I mean, the only problem
Yeah.
would be like you'd have to rob stores and you'd have to dig inside a mine for a couple years until
It happens.
it happens.
Yeah.
It's not like it's my first day.
You know, but I've been doing this for years.
Miria, we've been doing this for years. What do you mean, Isaac? It's our first day.
Yeah?
That's it. I'm going back to the hardware store.
I'm going back to the flying pussy flag.
Guys,
Can't wait to watch more Bobo.
guys, niece is great. Guys, she's great. She's a leader.
Guys.
She's the real leader of the Jacuzzi gang. She takes care of Jacuzzi. She tells him, get some friends. It's good for you. She keeps a bomb in her eye. Like, she's very reliable in that sense. I mean, like, when you're
that she has explosives and she'd be stopped at TSA every time.
we're living in the 1930s right now. I ain't. There's no TSA.
Are you living in the 1930s?
Yes. I use my time machine to get here.
So that poses an interesting question. How does Best Girl work? Are we in their world, or do they come to us?
We've never thought this deeply about her goofy segment.
I think it's better that we don't think about it.
Continue. Yeah, you know,
Keep going.
if I'm in a pickle, just bam, throw one of them cherry
I
bombs.
love
bam.
pickles.
We can make millions at the box.
If you're ever in a pickle.
We can work for movies when they need those big explosions.
Pino.
No, stop.
My IQ dropped significantly. Thank you. That one's to
my
you, Rick and Morty
God.
fans. Your
Can I
IQ's
tell
not
you
going
guys
up.
that,
It's
like,
going down.
in a voice chat, we listened to like
We
Rick
did.
and Morty ASMR.
Oh yeah, we did.
We
That was
won't.
it.
Don't think about that. Okay, next.
Pickle Rick.
No, stop.
Oh, pickle.
No.
That was the
Remember
worst.
the one where she like ate the pickle and it went like cronk?
I don't want to remember that. Anyways.
Okay, yeah, those were the best grills.
Yep.
To like, if you want to yell at us or tell me that I'm the best, because I am, email us at funkyanimePodcast@gmail.com. That is funkypodcast. Nope, that was wrong. Don't listen to me.
Just
It's
go back to the
Funky
first
Anime
funky
Podcast,
minutes of the episode.
Not Funky Podcast. Okay, thank you. What do we got now?
Nothing really. You want to talk about just anything else?
I think I'm good.
I think I'm good too.
Yeah, no,
It's-
I can't think anything.
We
Are
talked a
just
lot.
ratings? Yeah, we did. This is gonna be like an hour and something.
It's really
It's always that long.
it's really you really have to watch the series at least to understand remotely
Yeah.
what we're talking about, because even though we went in order, we went all over the place, because like even at the first like the beginning of this episode we were like, oh yeah, he dies, what? I didn't want to know that.
Yeah, it's almost like we went like in the format of the show.
Almost.
Mm-hmm.
God, this is
That was
good.
planned, by the way.
I want
It
to.
wasn't.
I'm actually going to go back.
wasn't
I want to read the light novels. I want to read the manga.
Yeah, me
wanna get
too.
caught up.
I literally pulled up the Amazon page for the first light novel during this recording.
Great. Like I want to. Oh,
Okay, so let's just do ratings.
All
I
right.
guess, since we've
Garb, would you like to start?
I have mine ready.
Sure, go ahead.
go for it, you stinky man.
I actually had to pull up our Excel sheet
Oh boy,
of the other ones to like check.
where is our Excel sheet, anyways?
And I wanted to make sure I rated it much higher than Durarara, and then I realized I gave it the same rating as Bobobo.
Oh.
And I was like,
No, you didn't.
You've sinned.
Not even
no, I
close.
almost did.
Boba
No,
Boy,
no,
you gave 4.5.
no. I mean this show, like the rating
Oh.
in my head, I almost gave it the same. This show, the same rating as Bobobo, and I was like, it's not as good as Bobobo. No, I'm kidding. I give this 4.2.
Wrong answer.
About the Bobobo thing.
That's understandable. 4.2 makes sense.
That makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
Anna, do you want me to go?
I
or
like
you-
short shows.
You should.
So.
You can go first.
Yeah, I'm thinking a very solid 4.7.
4.7.
Whew.
Not bad.
Which actually no, 4.6. I lied. It was a prank.
Okay.
4.6, which I really loved this. This was so much fun. I had a
That's the
ball-
same
I
thing
had
you
a
gave
blast.
Planets.
I know. I gave Planets that. I gave.
That's fair. I feel like those two can be the same score.
Guys,
They're like. There's a little things like on both that I kind of didn't like, but they're still fucking good shows.
Yeah.
guys.
Final.
For the first moment I finished this anime, I knew it was going to be my top 10. To the point where I think it may even beat my rating of Space Dandy.
which is.
A 4 point.
Are you going to be rating it the mythical?
I'm not giving it a 5. I might change it.
Oh, of course not.
I'm giving it a 4.9. Because this show encompassed everything that I like about anything. Like, first off, I love the Mafia. I love anything that has to do with the Mafia. I like anything that has to do in the 1900s, because that's such an interesting time period, at least when I was studying in school about history and whatnot. It has twists, it has turns, fantastic music, wonderful openings, wonderful, great endings, characters I actually care for. It has everything that I've always wanted in such a small package, to the point where I just want more and wish there was a second season. And it breaks my heart that there's never going to be a second season. So that's why we have the light novels. But no, this is far surpassed anything I could have ever thought of the first time I watched it, and it was such a treat to watch it again for the podcast.
Yeah. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did, but by the end, I was like, "Yeah, I'm having fun with this." You know?
Yep.
No,
I'm in.
Before we finish, I actually wanted to talk the 3 episodes at the end that I made you watch. Those are actually kind of canon as well, like to the story. Like,
most.
So the guy with the wrench, he's actually part of like the other parts of the light novels as well. You know, Lad's little underling and whatnot. But I liked that they actually tried to attempt to continue on the story a little bit. But I loved the way they ended it, where it's like, they're like, well, why doesn't the story just continue? And they're like, well, sometimes it's just better to leave it as is, you know. And in this case, even though I want a second season, at least for the anime, I think that by itself this stands like very high in my book. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is definitely something that I'll watch again, for sure.
You can see all the little
maybe
little
not like very soon, but it'll be up.
Oh, I'll
there.
be watching this very soon again, probably.
I'll watch it again sometime, like probably in a couple years, but
yeah. Well, that's the mark of a good anime.
Yeah.
All right, that was great. What are we doing next week?
Bible Black.
We're not doing that one.
What about,
that's not what it is.
What about Itadaki Saiki?
What?
No.
Oh, wait a second. Was that the thing from? Oh no.
Yeah,
it's not.
You're thinking of that one.
No.
It's not what we wanted.
No, we're watching Dragon Ball Z. We're watching.
What? We're gonna watch Namek again?
Yeah, we're watching the Namek Saga again.
Thank God, I can't.
No,
wait.
we're watching the Cell Saga.
Guys, I'm so pumped.
I'm gonna be forced to watch.
I love the Cell Saga.
Oh no!
An interesting story.
Look at all these references I don't get.
God, I'll talk about it when we record the next one. Okay.
Till next time.
Pino, who are we?
We are the 3 A-Weebros. We are the Funky Anime Podcast. The one who was removed from first class for being a douchebag to everybody. Well, that's Garb.
Hey, I paid for my ticket! You can't do this to me! I'm a first class citizen!
The guy who's now on the roof of the train, trying to not drop his explosives that were caught by the conductor earlier today. Well, that's Chuck.
Whoa, there's so much wind! Wow, I'm trying to not drop all these explosives I'm holding right now.
Is he just laughing at his fucking self?
He dropped an explosive. It was a funny bomb.
Wow.
And the guy that's still covered in blood for some reason, walking his way back to the conductor station, ready to choo-choo his way home. Well, that's Pino. I should really go to the dry cleaners after this. Is that guy still on the roof?
Maybe.
He scared me.
Yeah, that was good.
This is the Funky Anime Podcast. This was also another horrible bit. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. Yeet.
Dude, yeet y'all.
Yeet.